So I guess it's the honor is for me to take the floor now, to take this virtual floor. That is, of course, first of all, by well, saying a very warm welcome to you. Although it's welcome in this funny online space that I have to admit still have some difficulty getting to. But I will do my best today to come across as convincing as possible. So once again, and first of all, thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining this digital junior competition. I also, of course, at the outset would like to especially thank the judges who are again here with us today, and who certainly have taken out time of their busy schedules to offer their feedback and help selecting the winner today. And then, of course, a very big thank you to the startups who took the time to participate in the full training program that took place over the past few months, and who are here today to show all of us what you have learned. Of course, this is a first for us. It's a first for me anyway. First digital Squeezy, but the first Squeezy for me as such. We were obviously planning to have a live session, and no less at the Goulandris Museum in Pankrati, not far from where I am sitting actually. But unfortunately, the coronavirus had other plans for us. But I'm still very happy that we have been able, and this is really thanks to all of you, thanks to our partners, our mentors, trainers, and the jury members, to have this program and to have today's competition. It makes me very happy to see all of you, even though it's difficult on this with all the different pictures. I really truly believe in the importance of entrepreneurship and innovative entrepreneurship in Greece. It is something that I think many of you know the embassy, the Dutch embassy in Athens, has invested in over years and quite heavily so. And here is also a word of thanks to Natasha for really indeed putting this relentless effort in making the Orange Grove work. And we will certainly continue to do this because, and needless to say, this is now more important than ever now that all of our countries are so heavily affected by the coronavirus. And even though we still don't know the precise impact, we do know that we're all going to have to climb out of recession, hopefully very soon. I also believe that entrepreneurship is something that you have to start at a very young age. And so seeing, well, not all of you, because there are others, but all of you participants between 15 to 18 years, coming up with innovative ideas and solutions is certainly something that I think inspires us all with a lot of optimism and hope for the future. I will not talk much longer because this is also one of the lessons we've learned about online meetings. Don't be too lengthy. People lose concentration. So I'm sure obviously that you're very excited to get started. I would like to take just another minute of your time by introducing to you our judges today. I'm very happy, and this is, I guess, the perk of having a digital condition, that we have three international judges joining us from the Netherlands and the United States, in addition to the two we have from Greece. I'm starting with John Fox, joining us from San Francisco, from a sort of obscure company that nobody has ever heard of, namely Netflix. Hello, John.
Hello, good morning. I'm so happy to be here.
Hello. In addition to John, we have Hendrik-Jan Guitink, good Dutch name, but a partner at Ames International, a large organization focusing on leadership and career development, who also does executive coaching at large companies. Dag Hendrik-Jan.
And a very good morning and good evening to you. And I do apologize for my name. My parents never thought I'd have an international career. I'm sorry.
Unpronounceable.
I fully agree.
Unpronounceable. It's a good Dutch name. Then we have Miltiadis Gkouzouris, CEO of HBA International, de handelsvereniging van Amsterdam, ook een hele mooie naam. Hello, Miltiadis.
Goedenavond. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening.
Yeah. Further on, we have Marissi, Balioussi, the editor-in-chief at capital.gr, leading financial website here in Greece.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Kalispera, I should say, of course. And then Katerina Markadaki, Head of Business Development at the Goulandris Museum. Hello, Katerina.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Thank you all for joining. It is now my honor to introduce to you the presenter for this competition today, the Junior Squeezy Digital, Christina Stribacu, who we know quite well, because she represents Lia Olive Oil, which is actually one of Orange Grove's success stories. So hello, Christina. I'm happy you're here. I'm going to hand over to you, mentioning just very briefly that you're not only representing one of our most successful startups, but we also love you for the support you've been giving to Orange Grove and to startups with your knowledge and experience. And maybe before I hand over, I think it's also my honor to mention, of course, the prizes that are out there today for the winners. Unfortunately, but as you understand, we are not in a position now to offer you a trip to the Netherlands, which we would have otherwise loved to do, to make you indeed be able to see with your own eyes some relevant expertise and knowledge that we could offer in the Netherlands. But still, we want to offer you the best possible experience within those constraints. And I'm happy, therefore, to announce that we are offering 2 follow-up digital trainings to the top 3 winning teams. One training offered by Ames International, and in addition, a training offered by our other partners, Idea Hackers. I consider this a fantastic opportunity for the winners to work with our international network and to learn from very experienced people in this area. But also, we will be offering a voucher of 1,500 euros for the #1 winner. The winning team, that is, can use this voucher at a public bookstore, not a public bookstore, but the bookstore of public, in order to buy something that certainly will be useful for the further development of your team's idea. So I think with that, I hand over to Christina to introduce the judges maybe once more. Thank you.
First of all, thank you, dear Ambassador, for the nice introduction. I'm very proud to be a part of Orange Grove, and thank you once again for the great help that you gave to my startup. I would like to welcome all judges, and I would like to ask to talk a little bit about you, just a short introduction of what are you doing, so our startups have an idea of who you are. Please, let's start with John.
Hi. So I'm John Fox. I've been working as a software engineer for many years, as evidenced by my gray beard. I've worked at small startups that were my own, others that I partnered with, and then eventually joined a startup called Netflix. And that was almost 5 years ago. And it's been an interesting ride. I have to say just very at the outset that I I'm very, very thankful for the opportunity. I think Orange Grove is a spectacular success. I talk about it with great pride of association from having, helped some startups there and to have participated in talks and to have been a judge before. I think that for the startups, I say to you, take a deep breath, relax. You are in a supportive environment, but it is also a competition. Sharpen your skills and know that you have a lot of people around you who want to see you succeed. And with that, I'll pass it on to the next person.
Nice. Hendrik-Jan, it's nice to see you here. Could you please tell us a few things about you so our startups know a few things about you?
Of course, thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this. And it's Eleni Skondra's fault, by the way. For all the teams that you have to blame Eleni that I'm here. But thank you anyway. So to keep in the line of what John was saying, my experience with startups has to do with supporting them, and especially in the stage where they move more or less from startup to scale up. A lot of the things that you're thinking about as a startup now, when you actually become more or less a established company, suddenly things become different. And what we do is to kind of help you figure out what kind of tools and what kind of personality and competencies you need also to make that next step. And I want to congratulate the teams that are here already, because you've already got this far. That means that you've got some fantastic ideas and you've been able already in some way or form to pitch it. The jury has already been lucky enough to be able to read some things. And I have to say, it really astonishes me that you guys, young people, have come up already with such brilliant ideas. And I congratulate you already for that. And good luck for the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Miltiadis Gkouzouris, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Miltiadis Gkouzouris. I live in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, where I manage a company. The company is working in agriculture. So we do everything that has to do with agriculture, either it's animals, livestock, as we call it, or other types of crops. I wanted to tell you something about being an entrepreneur and managing companies. It gives you some advantages, and those advantages have to do with the choice of where to go, what to do. So if you want to change things in this world, you can do it far easier when you are an entrepreneur than if you are working somewhere. So that's the big advantage, and I would say go get that advantage. And I'm very proud of the fact that from this age you dare to step up and to present your idea. So good luck to all of you.
Thank you, Miltiadi. Thank you. Thank you very much. And now Miss Marissi Balioussi, the editor of capital.gr. I cannot see her, but she's here.
Being the chief editor of financial website, we emphasize a lot on startups. Last year we did for the first time the Forbes under 30, and this year we're proceeding with the list for the second time, Forbes under 30 for Greece. So I would like to congratulate all the participants for the great ideas and wish good luck to all of them.
For sure, some of our startups in a few years, they will be in the list of in the Forbes. And please, Miss Katerina Markadaki, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Katerina, and I work as a head of business development at the Goulandris Museum. It's the new museum of modern art in Athens, in Pagrati. We have just started. It's a brand new museum. It started operating since October last year. So we've been around for only 5 months before we got closed up. I'm responsible for bringing additional revenue to the museum, and this is done through many collaborations. We are very open to collaborating with young people, with startups. We are very interested in supporting young people in everything that we do. So I wish you the best of luck, and I'm very excited with the ideas that are read. Good luck to everybody.
So thank you very much for being here. We're having you tonight with us. Before we start, I would like to explain a few things to our participants. First of all, please remember everybody should have unmute the microphone. And regarding our participants to these competitions, you need to wait your turn until you turn on your microphone. The pitch is in English. You have 5 minutes for the pitch and 5 minutes for answers, questions and answers with the judges. The pitching sequences is based on the first letter of your startup's name. And a few things about your evaluation. You are evaluated on your product, your service, including the marketing opportunity or the customer benefits. You are evaluated about the innovation, how innovative is your idea. We look for the overall of your pitch, the person and the team behind your startup, the impact and use of the prize award, the participation to the product, and that was offered to you. I would like to tell you, to wish you very good luck, and I will start call on this digital stage. I will start with the team Bio Bottles. Bio Bottles is an alternative one-use water bottle made out of polyester called PLA. Their product is going to replace the already existing plastic ones, which I find a fantastic idea. I would like to invite the team members, Mirto Kostiopoulou, Katerina Mamali, Maria Sotirarku. Please. Young entrepreneurs, we are ready to hear you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Can everyone see our presentation?
Yes, very well.
How many times have you seen a plastic bottle in nature where it does not belong? And how many times have you heard that it is time to change our habits to protect the environment? We have encountered both, and that's why we are here today, to stop plastic pollution and the hypothetical thinking that it's time to change the world. We are determined to make a change.
As we all know, plastic poses a serious threat to the environment and contaminates our air, soil, and water. Every day, more than 8 million pieces of plastic end up in our oceans, and you have seen the images going viral. Over the last decade, we've produced more plastic waste than in all the previous decades combined. Over half is single-use plastics like water bottles and straws. In fact, 60 million water bottles end up in landfills every day. That's incredible, 22 billion bottles per year. And as you can see, first are microplastics in water bottles, which seriously harm our health.
Which brings us to bio bottles, an alternative one-use water bottle made out of a biodegradable polyester. We created our prototype at the 3D printing lab in our school. We chose 3D printing because it is not harmful to the environment and it involves having less material left over than any other manufacturing technology that exists today.
PLA, polylactic acid, is an environmentally friendly polyester that is biodegradable and used in creating biobottles. It is made from cornstarch and sugarcane. PLA is a great material to use for the creation of biobottles for numerous reasons. Firstly, it is a thermoplastic, meaning it can be reheated without any deterioration. It is ideal for one-use water bottles. It does not emit toxins when incinerated, and it is inexpensive.
Our product addresses bottling companies that are willing to change their mindset to a more environmentally friendly world, as well as small businesses that already share our mentality, will buy our product in batches and sell it with a premium pricing. Even though we really believe in our idea's advantages, we recognize the threats that come with it. We understand that many companies might not be ready for such a confident change that will affect both their production and mindset. Additionally, we have come across similar products that are sold in other countries, and that's why we are going to focus on the Greek market, which is not yet familiar with the notion of replacing plastic.
Is there profit in the solution? Of course there is. Many companies nowadays change their mindset to a more eco-friendly one. For example, Coconut creates pillows from only nat fibers, and more customers tend to buy them, even though others might be less expensive. A more specific example in our case that we can identify with is Coca-Cola, which tries to make its bottles out of reusable plastic. We are going to cater to such companies our bottles so as for them to stop using plastic ones. Also, companies are being forced to become more eco-friendly by the market and then by the actions of the EU, which is willing to eliminate the consumption of one-use plastic. Lastly, recycling is going to be reduced, less material waste is going to be produced.
And why should anyone buy bio bottles? As Maria mentioned in the previous slide, by 2021, it will be mandatory for companies to stop using plastic as a one-use material. Therefore, we provide them with a solution. Secondly, in comparison to plastic bottles, bio bottles do not contain microplastics that harm human health. Finally, its production emits less greenhouse gas.
When our product goes to mass production and is created with the method of blow molding, we're going to use less material and in fact the same amount as is used today for the plastic ones. The cost of production is going to be 0.2 euros per item. Also, we're going to find an even greener way of production, and we aim to create other objects from PLA such as straws. Until now, we have communicated with Greek companies such as Leoni, Lux, and Faye. Our idea was more convenient to some. However, others were more hesitant towards it. We are determined to make the market accept our idea since we firmly believe that it solves a crucial problem. Also, we conducted a survey in which 77% believe that it is necessary to replace plastic bottles with biodegradable ones, and 65% are also very likely to buy their water in our bottle instead of a plastic one. I'm Maria Sotirhu.
I'm Katerina Mamali.
And I am Martoka Tchivoulou.
And together we are Bio Bottles. Today, right here, right now, is the time to put an end to plastic waste. Thank you for your attention.
Congratulations. Congratulations to the dynamic girl startup. So, who judges? Who would like to start with a question?
I would love to.
Okay, John, go.
So, very well done. I have a question about this in terms of how you position it with people. Because on the one hand, there's a strong current to say that we shouldn't be using single use to begin with. And that has a lot of traction in my mind. On the other hand, there's the reality of consumer behaviors who are so used to not having to worry about bringing their own bottle. Which do you think is the more important argument to the consumer? The fact that this mechanism in an entire system is going to be better than the existence of PET type plastics, or do you think eventually the argument about saying we shouldn't be using single use would take over? How do you think about positioning yourselves in that way?
Actually, we believe that at some point it is inevitable to buy single-use packages. So we are trying to replace them with the biodegradable packaging because it is less harmful to the environment. Of course, single use should be eliminated, but since it is not until now, we try to find a more eco-friendly solution to solve both the needs of the customer and to solve the problem that is created with the environment.
Thank you.
Can I ask?
Yes, of course, Katerina.
Have you made the comparison of the cost between the biodegradable bottles and the PET, the plastic ones? The cost to the company?
Sorry?
The cost for the company.
So far our prototype, which is this bottle, is thicker than the final product we are trying to make, and so it's more expensive to produce. But when we are going to, and that's why, actually, sorry, that's why we are going to sell it for now as a premium product. But when our product goes in mass production, because we really want it to go there, the product will be much thinner, so the cost will be kind of similar to the one of plastic bottles, so it will not be more expensive.
Okay.
I don't know if this answers your question.
Yes, it does, actually.
I wanted
Yes,
to ask also something.
Yes, please.
Have you studied the competition, and how are there any other companies producing similar bottles?
Should I answer? Or okay, so we have seen that many companies in the States and other countries are starting to produce PLA bottles. However, in Greece, we are a bit behind in solving the environmental problem and replacing plastic. So that's why we said that we're going to focus in Greece, that such products are not being produced and are not in the market until, as far as we know, until now.
May I ask one more question? Is if you look at this product itself, it really seems good, of course, and environmentally friendly. But you're part of a whole chain, and you were talking about the sugarcane. Have you looked at the environmental effects of, if this becomes a success around the world, what is going to be the environmental effect on the fact that we have to have a lot more sugarcane?
We have evaluated many products, many types of PLA for our product, and this is just one. Another one is called agave, if I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, which in the environment is harmful. So if we use this type of PLA, it will be not only good for the production of our product, but also for the environment. So we can use both types of PLA and not need that much production of, not production, but to have that much sugarcane.
Okay. Okay.
So, well done, girls.
Thank you.
Really nice presentation. I think that you have a lot of work to do if we think that the Greek countryside is full of plastic bottles. Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
let's go to the second startup. I would like to invite the startup FreeU. FreeU is a device which could identify if food, especially cooked food, has extracts of lactose, gluten, or other ingredients that might cause an allergy or prohibit it of certain people, and in case of consumption might cause serious health problems to these persons. The device will be equipped with a special software and sensors. The software will include commands and pictures of foods that each user creates her personal health profile account on the device, which will include blood and micro symptoms that he has when he eats a certain food. When the sensor scans a specific picture that is included to the list of foods that person cannot eat, it will show the percentage of lactose or gluten that it has. Then the device will check its percentage, if the percentage is accepted according to the user's healthy profile, or can cause healthy problems. If the device cannot identify the food from the photo list, then the user can place a piece of food in the sensor in order to analyze it and find the levels of lactose or gluten. So the team members is Alexandra Yala and Panagiotis Voriopoulos. If you are ready, please start.
Hello, I'm Alexandra, and we want to begin our presentation. Hello everyone, we are here together to your application called Free You App. And the next slide, we're going to present you a video from Panagiotis' experience in diabetes. Let's see.
Video is not audible.
Sorry?
I cannot hear the video.
1 minute. Okay, so we have Panagiotis here. He will tell you his story in diabetes.
Okay, my name is Panagiotis and I'm suffering from diabetes type 1. And in the next slides, we're going to present you with my teammate Alexandra how we got inspired to create a free application which provides benefits for people like me.
Moving forward to see our team, you can see. Now Panagiotis will explain you about Free You. Panagiotis?
Okay. So what's Free You? Free You is an application which provides benefits for people suffering from autoimmunity, such as diabetes, type 1 and type 2, gluten and lactose intolerance. What about our services? Tips for a better diet, daily information on the patient's progress, diagrams, gluten and lactose percentage in the blood. But this is a PowerPoint presentation, and we have decided to present you only the main ideas of our project. Now I would like to present some other really important information of our application. Free You is a device which could identify if the food, and especially cooked food, has extract of glucose, lactose, gluten, or other ingredients that might cause an allergy or are prohibited, and in case of consumption, might cause serious health problems. How does it work? First of all, install the application. Create a personal account, entering monthly medical results. Daily presentation of the patient's progress and tips for a better daily life. Here, I would like to mention that our application provides benefits and personal notification to its user to improve his current health situation. Last but not least, diagrams that will show the increase-decrease of glucose in the blood.
So our competition, these are competitors, you can see here, UCMLA Internal Medicine, Round Health, and for surprise, a Greek competitor, Osmosis Mobile, and an international competitor, many of you might know it, Diabetes UK. So why we are different? We do not care about the ego, but about us. We want to create a network of people with better eating habits in order to improve their current health situation. Our motto for this day is to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Our SWOT analysis, we have as strengths that our founder, Panagiotis, has an experience in the app, marketing campaigns in social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We have an algorithm ready for our app, and all the patient's data is under GDPR law. Our threats, we know that there are similar apps, as I told you before. Weaknesses, we have to train our employees to have more experience in this sector. Limited target group, and last but not least, our opportunities to be innovative and to be exciting. The target group, we begin from 15 years old to 70 years old. The most important, we want confirmed patients.
Okay, about the pricing policy. The price will be €3.99 per month. For more users in the same family, we will offer 10% discount on the official price. The first 2 months will be free so as to test the app and be promoted by the doctors and nurses.
Our for both daily contact with collaborators, we have our MVP ready. We have some collaboration with Metrobutic Medical, Dr. Viola Badiaris, she's a doctor, Panagiotis doctor, and Dr. George Gita from Media Hospital. Moving forward to Panagiotis, you want to?
Yep. collaboration with doctors and hospitals so as to achieve a significant market penetration, and awareness by offering a 40% commission to the doctors in order to promote our product.
As you can see here, we are in the post-it, we have the income, because we are not selling a product, we have an application. This is our price, the commission, and the family discount, so as to remember that from the slide before. Our vision, through this application, we help our subscribers to improve their diet in a smarter way. The people who suffer with health problems can change their daily life, their eating habits, and take in their hands a technological advanced tool with which they are able to better handle their condition. We want, as a company, to have a patient in a better condition and to give them tips for a better diet. We want patients like Panagiotis to be more healthier than they are in this situation.
And one last thing, I would like to say that it's like you have the doctor with you 24/7.
Thank you for your attention. Please click here for more details in our social media. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will follow you immediately on Instagram. Congratulations for your presentations.
Thank you very much.
Well done. So, questions from our judges, please.
I will
John,
actually
you go first. Oh,
Thank
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
is that okay? Yeah.
Yes, please.
So thanks very much, and well done to both of you, and also well done if you're that young and you're wanting to do a presentation like this, and all the way in the beginning something doesn't work the way you want to, that you didn't panic, but you just kept on going and took a straight line. Well done on that. So just a question is that you showed us some of the competition.
Yes.
And for me, this is very new. So it's a very new topic, very new environment. So I don't know anything about the topic itself. But I was wondering, have you seen with these competitors, how much are they actually used? How many people use this type of app?
We have searched, especially in App Store, because our app will be in App Store like in 1 month. So we searched about the target group that each app has. So it's like us. There are 50% of people generally they're using these apps. The first one is especially for cardio Q&A for people suffering from cardio problems, and the second one is for diseases like the small ones from stress and tips to not have stress and fitness app. And the Osmosis Mobile is from for cardio problems. And the diabetes Q&A, Dr. Vaya Labadiaris, Dr. Panagiotis proposes to as a competitor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Can I ask, how do you plan to target the app to the older age? Because you said that your target would be from 15 to 70, and in Greece we know that the older people are less comfortable with technology. How would you plan to do that on that age, to market on that age?
First of all, we have collaboration with doctors, so to make proposal in these patients. We know that this target market, let's say the elderly people, don't have the opportunity for a device. So we are planning to stack in a small group of these people. We might see it takes for us also. But we searched that in Greece, 40% of people, elderly, are having a smartphone.
Okay.
We don't know it, but we searched it.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I fire a question? May I?
Please, go ahead.
Very interesting idea, and especially since it's helping people who have some tangible problems and you understand the problem. I'm a bit confused regarding the device and the application because you are using it interchangeably. So if you do have a device like that, or if you plan to build a device, I was wondering who is going to build it. Do you have any experience with that, or were you thinking to outsource that?
Panagiotis has a device like this so as to scan the gluten in the blood. So we have this idea, let's say, because our example is Panagiotis, so we are moving forward with Panagiotis as an example. We are, first of all, our first steps have been to make a device like this. And then we thought about the application for everyone, because this device costs money. And because we want it international, in Greece there are services in the government so as to pay for this patient, but international they're not. So we're wanting something cheap, let's say, for everyone.
And also concerning your question, we found the programmers so to build the app.
For our next step is to create also a device like this, with the same diagrams, the same tips for these people, for this group of people.
I have a question. So I think I salute you for taking on a challenge, because this truly is a big problem, and particularly being somebody who's in the United States, I understand that there is a diabetes industrial complex, and with our agricultural policy, we're actually supporting the creation of diabetics, and it's actually profitable with the tests and the amount of work that's there. As a software engineer and someone who knows how difficult it is to engineer and mass produce sensing hardware, I'm a little bit skeptical about that. So I'm curious, of the things in your presentation that I most locked onto was the keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And that, I think, is an interesting aspect to it. Do you think you could achieve your goals without manufacturing a sensor? In other words, is there some component of your idea about being out with friends and being in a convivial atmosphere and saying, hey, let's have a Coke and a smile, or somebody who says, I don't want to eat this high-fat product, but then may not realize that there's a ton of corn syrup in it. So is there something about kind of in the moment, let's call it social media used for education amongst a peer group? If you were to focus on that, do you think your product could still be successful?
So it's a very nice question for us. We choose this model because we think that in this sector, the medical sector, I think that all has the same target. We want to help each other. For these competitors that you see in your screens, for us is a competitor as every company. What we have the same target to help the people in this category, because to have a disease, and I guess we will explain too, is very difficult, and we have the same target. So I think that the competition will be equal for everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much, Alexandra and Panagiotis. I wish you very good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Startup number 3. Let's Sign. Let's Sign is a mobile application that will enable deaf people to become an active member of our society by providing them with a voice and an opportunity to communicate with others through a broad network of users. The application will translate through motion and sign recognition of a mobile device any language to the spoken language of the user's choice, and the other way around. Let's hear their idea and the solution to this problem. I would like to invite the team members Sofia, Isidora, Elpida Varvara, Olivia, and Peter. Please.
So I guess not a lot of you understand sign language. So here we are today providing the solution to this major problem. My name is Miltiadis.
My name is Olivia Vlachopoulou.
And my name is Sofia Gamerno.
And we are the Lisol team.
So after having a conversation with a friend of ours who is deaf and listening to her everyday life and the problems she has to face, we found out that the services she can use are limited. And you know what? She's not the only one. Therefore, we decided to work in it and give these people some more opportunities.
Deaf people, due to their disability, are often excluded from everyday interactions and activities in society. This occurs not only in public, but in their home environment too. In the age of globalization, the problem of communication requires immediate attention. Almost 500 million of people are deaf or hearing impaired. 98% of them have never learned a sign language, and 72% of them live in homes with families that have never learned the sign language themselves. So, only 70 million people rely on it daily. Communication is something so easy, yet so difficult for deaf people. Due to the rapid evolution of technology, they cannot effectively follow this development and are left behind, missing out on many great opportunities.
So the solution that we are providing to this major problem is an application called Let's Sign, which works with and without internet access and is able to translate any sign language to the spoken language of the individual's choice and the other way around. Now, the process of translation will happen with the help of built-in cameras and microphones, so that the consumer will be able to hear and see the final translated text. Lastly, the consumer will have instant access to their email and social media. Now, you might wonder, how are those people going to benefit from our application? Well, firstly, in these types of situations, a major issue that is being directly raised is racism. With our application, we want to involve deaf people in the society, and by doing so, we want to achieve the elimination of prejudice. Now, our application will also simplify the communication between family members, which is something really important. And lastly, people with hearing disabilities will start learning sign languages.
So our goal is to embrace deaf people in the society by giving them the same opportunities with regards to communication. As far as we have researched, we have only found one competitor. So why should someone choose us instead of our competitor? Initially, our service will be able to translate all the languages. On the other hand, our competitor only offers the translation of the English language. Something we both provide is the translation of spoken languages to sign languages. However, what we offer and our competitor doesn't is the other way around. Finally, Let's Sign can be found as an application, while the other only online.
Although profit is not our utmost priority, we have estimated and reviewed the necessary revenue. The cost for the development of the application will be around $500,000. Our target population is 466 million people, almost 500 million. At 50%, that gives us 233 million people. Now let's extract the 70 million people who already know and rely on sign language on a daily basis. That leaves us with 163 million people. Our application will have a 1-month free trial period for our users to experience our offerings. Then our customers will can acquire our application with a one-off fee of $2.99. Having this said, in the 5th year of our running application, we've estimated a revenue of $2.4 billion. Now let me tell you something, and I can't stress it enough. 50% of our profit will be distributed back into furthermore research to enhance life opportunities for people with special needs. We also have a prototype of our application, but it's at a really early stage, and we're looking forward to developing it. And lastly, we've assigned some roles based on our strengths.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Very nice presentation. Questions? Not very long questions, please.
No? Okay, well then let me start very shortly. Thanks very much, girls. Got one question, because how does this work practically? Do I see somebody stand when I communicate with somebody with sign language? Do I film that person while I'm talking to that person? How does it work?
Basically, we have cameras and microphones adjusted on our application. So while the person is talking, the app will be filming him. So his words will be translated into the sign language and the opposite.
How many languages?
There
are our target is 137, which are actually all of them. But we would start like from English, which is broadly spoken, and we would see like how we could develop that at like not at this stage, but maybe later.
Okay, and if somebody speaks English sign language and wants to be translated into Greek language, then will it have the capacity to mix and match like that?
Yes, you can choose the language you want, like from the sign language you want to, and then you can then choose the spoken language that you want to translate to.
Okay.
I have a question. How do you plan to promote your application?
Oh, okay. So we have found a lot of ways to promote our application. Mainly, it's going to be through the internet, from advertisements online, through social media, but also in groups where people that are deaf or hearing impaired are attending. It could be a really nice and easy way to advertise our application there, because it's going to be helpful to that particular group of people. So maybe brochures even, but we have found a lot of ways, and we are excited to find the best way to advertise it and actually do it.
Thank you.
Nice. Well done, girls. Do we have any other questions?
Christina,
Yes,
may
please.
I ask one more quick question, please?
Yes, please.
Yeah. You came up with the development cost of $500,000. How did you get to that cost?
We've come in contact with several programmers, and that's like the final cost of the 137 languages. So because it's kind of difficult for a startup to come up with so much money at first, we would start with the English Sign Language, and then we would use the other languages.
Okay.
Katerina, would you like to ask something or not?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. So if you are okay, we can pass to our fourth startup. Our fourth startup is NPB. NPB stands for No Planet B. It's the first green startup that is going to provide you with all sustainable products and facilities around the globe. Specifically now that everyone needs, due to the global climate crisis, a change. In these days, is a percentage of people who already understand the importance of changing our habits in order to save the environment, and we need to lead them to consume organic, recycle, and try to be as much plastic-free as they can, etc. Let's hear the team members Fedra Sotiropoulou, Christian Achmetai, Fotis Vaganas, and Panagiotis Babiniotis. The stage is yours.
Hello. Our startup's name is NPB, and that stands for No Planet B, Help Earth B. We are the first green platform to bring together all environmentally friendly companies, businesses, and brands in order to offer our users a wide range of products and services.
Growing up in Peloponnese, we were surrounded by a wealth of information regarding the environment, the organic products, and how precious. An experience that shaped our minds is when we saw thousands of tons of high-quality bioproducts being thrown away because cultivators couldn't find interested customers to sell them.
So, our team is here to help Earth become a better place. Our team is composed of passionate and innovative young entrepreneurs. First of all, Fedra, our CEO, Hendrik-Jan, our developer, myself, Panagiotis, I'm the digital marketing specialist, and Fotis, he's our PR manager.
So, more than 50,000 people in Peloponnese would buy sustainable products, but they don't because it takes time and effort to find the best option. Also, more than 4 million visitors would choose ecotourism solutions for their families, but in booking, everything seems the same.
NPB gives a solution. NPB selects and offers on a user-friendly platform the most sustainable products and services, and provides them the most in the easiest and most carbon-neutral way. There is no need anymore to search for hours in order to find eco-friendly products and services. Our motto is that we drive sustainability.
Our vision is to become the youngest international green entrepreneurs, to bring together all green products and services within your smartphone. Our goal is to make environmentally friendly lifestyle easier and raise awareness on how sustainable living heals our planet.
Our app is optimal as the subscription is a safe and hassle-free procedure. Also, we speed up our customers' workflow by promoting them to the right user of our company. Moreover, businesses have the appropriate target group and popularity rises.
When it comes to our users, we make more accessible, environmentally friendly products and services, and we give them all the detailed information and the traceability of every good. We also provide all kinds of products and services based in the nearest location. Lastly, we offer educational master classes and videos in order to help inspire people.
Now, the question is, how do we make money? The plan is clear. From advertisements, from monthly subscription fees. We will also sell products on our website, on our platform, and the use for the users will be free. We have decided to stick with startup idea because people are getting more and more interest on how our actions affect our planet. Health is a big concern, especially at a time like this, where a pandemic has taken over. Furthermore, healthy life is a mainstream trend, with more than 60 million posts in 6 months.
Now, a marketing plan. Firstly, we will design a modern website. We know that in order to stand out, we need a dynamic, interesting website that will drastically drive people in our application. We will also make social media campaigns as well as to create and promote inspirational posts. Lastly, we will contact famous bloggers so they will write articles for our application. We must be as interactive as we can.
Our competition. In the States, there are many options on successful subscription basis for sustainable food, clothing, hotels. But we're the first app that provides everything in one. For example, Jewel Bag Too Good To Go had an enormous success in California. NPB comes in Europe to create a unique community where our members and clients have the power to drive change together.
So, for all of that, NPB needs an amount of money. Firstly, for the website app developer and programmer, also for the design, branding, and marketing costs, and for the educational videos as well as advertising on social media. For all of that, we need an amount of 39,000 euros. So, support NBB. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Well done. Very nice. So, who wants to start? Start with the questions. No,
I'll go.
perfect. No questions. Okay, thank you. Please.
So thank you again for taking on a big challenge, and it's a very interesting one. Have you thought about, to me it seems like this is about trying to help people understand that there's a reason why they want to be health conscious for themselves and health conscious for the state of the platform. And then you have, on the other hand, Greece is all about this wonderful tourism and being on the ocean and eating food that you can actually see growing. Is there some mechanism that you have for tour operators? Can you focus a little bit about that and say, what would your pitch be to, let's say, a hotel operator somewhere in Sifnos? How would you get them excited about joining in on this?
Well, our customers are, for example, hotels, restaurants, and brands, which are eco-friendly, of course. So we will we will go, and our advantages for them are that we will promote them through our app, and everyone who wants to go on their location or order something can search and find their hotel or their restaurant or their products. Yes. We also, it is very easy for them to get into our app and very clear. Yes.
Suppose, if I may ask a question. Suppose you would receive the funds you are asking for. How would you start? What is the plan? What is the first step, the second step, etc.?
Well, firstly, we're planning to create our application, our website, by promoting, getting a developer so he can make our application. And then the second step would be for us to find our customers.
Thank you.
I have one question, if I may. Well done, guys, and I love the energy that you're putting into it. And I've got a specific question, and it's a bit in line with what John was asking, though, is that everyone, all suppliers, on the supplier side for your app, everyone wants to be seen to be environmentally friendly. But how are you guys going to choose the right suppliers who are green and environmentally friendly?
The right supplier, okay. If any businessman or a company wants to join our platform, must be green and eco-friendly. So if I don't know exactly if...
they must complete some criteria in order to come to our application.
Like that.
Their products, the electrician,
all of that.
Yeah, the electrician they use, if, for example, if it's a restaurant, how they cook their food, the food they cook, everything, we take everything into consideration, and it differs depending on the customer.
You'll need a bit more than $39,000 to do that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it is approximately $29,000.
They start slowly. First the app, and then slowly they go to the next level.
Can I ask you, you said you would start from Messina, and then you would go to cover the whole Europe? Is that the plan?
We are going to start with Greece, of course.
Okay.
And then when we see that...
if we have the power and the money to do it, that's a good idea to...
We will expand worldwide.
Yeah, our goal is to be a global platform.
Okay.
Okay. Well done, NPB. For sure, there is no planet B. Sometimes
Thank you.
it's nice to hear that all of you are social and environmental startups. I really admire you. Let's pass.
Well, that generation has to clean up all the mess that we left behind. So
Yes, indeed. Indeed, you're absolutely right. I'm very proud of this generation. So the next startup is SkedMed, if I pronunciate it very well. In SkedMed, we focus on providing the lives of patients with conditions like Alzheimer. Our goal is to make them and their relatives feel safer. A very interesting idea from Panteleon, Marcos, Konstantinos, Peter, and Adonis. Let's.
Good evening. I think Mr. Guitink, after listening to our Greek last names, doesn't find his as hard to pronounce as he firstly thought. So now let's begin. Okay. So before we start, I would like to take a moment for my team members to introduce themselves. So guys, if you would also raise your hands so everybody can see you.
Good evening, my name is Balioussi.
Hi, I'm Mark Foros.
Hello, my name is Konstantinos Chadis.
And unfortunately, Peter couldn't make it here with us, and so we are just the four of us.
We'll make it up for him. Okay, so, dear judges, dear members of the Orange Grove, I am Adonis Psarioros and I'm presenting you on behalf of our team. First, I would like to thank you for providing us with the opportunity to present our idea. Now let's begin the presentation, starting with the basis of our company, our mission statement. So, our company is inspired from a personal experience of one of our members. Leon's grandmother is facing dementia and she is constantly forgetting her pills. So we decided to make a company that focuses on helping people with similar conditions like Alzheimer's disease, dementia, or progressive cognitive decline. We aim to make the patients and their relatives' lives easier and safer. So I think we have mostly covered the problem, but let me repeat that patients with these conditions forget their pills. To that, you may be wondering that, okay, but how many of them are actually taking pills? I would like to inform you that over half of people that are 65 years old or older, which is part of our target group, take at least 5 pills in one day. Now, what is our solution to the problem? We offer a portable watch which provides the user, in this case the patient, with notifications about his or her pills. After the notification, the capsule, which you can see, I can't really point you right now, but I believe you can see it, in the form of a rotating bezel, provides the patient with the according pill. In addition, the watch is connected to an application that informs doctors, relatives, and generally people in charge of the patient's health if the patient has actually taken his pill. All, of course, are logging in with their personal account and password. As I'm sure you know, patients' information are classified. We have not actually built a prototype yet. We're still working to find a solid platform to build our watch, and I think the prize would really help to that. This, as you can see, is our main competition. The most well-known, I would say, is the Apple Watch, and the pioneer of the fitness health band field is Fitbit. All the above products, of course, are great products in their own respectful way. However, there is no product that covers the needs of our target group. In addition, we offer the unique feature of the self-dispensing pills. Our market size. around the world, 10 to 20% of people over 65 years old face mild or more severe cognitive decline. Consider that people over 65 are currently 900 million and are estimated to reach 2 billion over 2050. In addition, confirmed cases of Alzheimer's disease or related dementia are around the world 50 million. Unfortunately, for both cases, the numbers are only growing. Moving on to some basic information about our business model. The manufacturing cost is estimated at around 20 to 30 euros. It will be sold around 80 to 90 wholesale and around 120 to 130 retail. Our goal is to obtain 10 to 20% of our target group over the course of the first 5 years. As our main buyers, we will approach pharmaceutical companies, Alzheimer's dementia associations, and we'll also sell retail in drugstores. And for social media and for promotion, we use social media. Big corporation deals can indeed take time to be closed, so as a more realistic first step, we would approach local associations or work with some acquaintance of ours. For example, Leon's father is a doctor, and one of my father's closest friends works for a big pharmaceutical company. The company, we acknowledge that, especially in our case, that we offer hardware, things need to stay as simple as possible. It may sound cliché, but the only way to go big is to start small. However, we believe that our product has a lot of potential and prospect for evolution. So we present you some ideas for potentially added features. A needle underneath the watch for automatic hypodermic injection. This will be used for more severe Alzheimer's cases that the patient doesn't even remember to take his or her pill after it's been disposed by our rotating bezel. The tracker will also be a very useful addition. I'm sure we've all heard instances in the news or from relatives that people with these conditions have many times gone missing or been lost for going for a simple walk to the supermarket. Last but not least, the sensor will be added, measuring pulse, blood pressure, and temperature, maybe to address a wider audience at some point. Last but certainly not least, our team, a group of friends with dreams, ambitions, and various passions. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention. I'm inviting you to join our call today, and please feel free to ask any questions. Thank you very much.
Well done. Another Instagram account to follow today. Well done, boys. So, dear judges, questions?
If I may?
I have many, but I think let's let other people go first. Go ahead.
So, Antonis, thanks very much, and team. And what a creative way of looking at things. Obviously, there's if you look at the product itself, if you look at the application, the hardware application itself, I understand how the pills are going to come out of the application. What I don't understand yet is how the pills are going to come into the application. How does that work?
So I'm sure you know that most patients with these types of conditions have someone who takes care of them. We cannot replace that person. What we can do is relieve him from being there every single moment. For example, if someone has his parent at home, he will be able to go to work carefree and not have someone to actually be there to take care for him. He will not have to pay for an extra person, an extra caretaker to be there present at all times. We cannot replace.
It's basically to make their life easier, but just not replace. the person taking care of our patients, of our user of the watch.
I have a question, but
Go, John.
So
Please.
I think first of all, I think what you're doing is a genuine act of love, and I really salute you. And I think that it has to be acknowledged. I have several friends whose parents have suffered from Alzheimer's, and I know what a heart-wrenching thing it is. So the fact that you take care on this problem says a lot about you, says beautiful things about you. That said, hardware engineering is incredibly difficult, and platform engineering is even more difficult. Apple Watch is fairly popular around the world and provides some mechanism to it, but Apple themselves are not in a position to manufacture what seems to be the core of your idea, and that is a pill dispenser. How big a challenge do you see is for building one? I mean, I see that you've got the general idea, and it's kind of clear about a rotating bezel and a Velcro watch and some type of minimum kind of sound generating and some minimum display. What do you think is the biggest challenge for what you're trying to do to be able to achieve it? What is the piece of it that has to be really good with, otherwise it won't succeed at all? What's your biggest challenge, do you think?
Yeah, of course, we're dealing with serious matters. We're dealing with people's health, so we really have to be careful with what we're doing. We'll have to be sure that everything is working. Regarding your question, I think the most difficult part will be to synchronize the actual hardware rotating so it can communicate with the application. I think I'm no software master, but I think this will be the more challenging part. What we have thought as an alternative solution to that is to build an accessory upon already established watches, as the Apple Watch, the Samsung Active 2, and some devices like that, as an alternative or as a first step, let's say.
As a quick follow-up then, can you envision doing something? Is the fact that the dispenser is worn on the wrist, is that a critical part of your application, of your solution, or can you imagine something that doesn't require it to be worn? In other words, could you use the Apple Watch to deliver the notification and then have them come and go to a device that maybe has more room and maybe is more, because designing something for mobility is incredibly challenging. So I'm trying to tease out your idea generation process and how you're trying to test these theories.
Of course, it could be built solely as an application, and then move this part of the watch standing on the wrist to a stable place, like yes. So the notification will appear, and then the person maybe will approach that space and take the according pill.
Great, thank you.
I have also a question. I like very much the whole concept. So how do you cope, or have you thought of solutions if a patient should get multiple pills? 2 or 3 different pills. How would you cope with that, if you have thought?
You say your question is, what if the cases are not enough for the pills?
Yeah, either space-wise or organizational-wise. Like, how can you have a person who has to take several pills in different moments in the day? How can you streamline that somehow or manage it?
Can I say?
Yeah.
We can make various cases with various sizes.
Okay. So the whole.
Apart from that, the pill it by itself has like 10 cases, and as we said, the pills won't be put in the device by the patient itself, but from the person taking care of him. So he has a certain way. Like at 12 o'clock, I have to take this pill. At 1 o'clock, I have to take this pill. So the person who is taking care of our patient would like place them inside in a certain order. So the patient will be able to have them organized.
And a follow-up quick question is like, if a pill falls out of the box, you know, and the patient doesn't actually take the pill, how can you control such a situation?
First of all, try to make it as like force resistant as possible to the actual the case. But apart from that, but basically that's it. We'll try to make like the case.
Maybe an added feature of safety would be to place a sensor. Mr. John Fox, I hope I'm not thinking things too complicated, but I'm just trying to, you know, think of solutions. So, yes, we try to make it as safe as possible, and we'll work on further features as we go on.
Well done, guys. It's a really unique idea. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our last startup, founder of the startup is Joanna Petridou. The startup's name is The Square Root of Me. It's a clothing business that will aim to provide sustainable, modern and fashionable clothing and accessories that are inspired by the Greek culture and heritage. One of the main problems that this business will track is to reconnect the Greek youth with old traditions and styles and help them to integrate into their own personal style preferences. Let's invite on our digital stage Ioana and hear her story.
Hello. One moment, please. Give it a minute. Okay. Hello, my name is Joanna Petridou, and The Square Root of Me is a clothing business that will aim to provide sustainable, modern and fashionable clothing and accessories that are inspired by the Greek culture. Last year I had the chance to go to a fair in Tinos. There I realized that even though when I was younger I had learned traditional Greek dances, I never got the chance. I didn't feel as excited when I danced as the people on the island. Later this year, I figured out that I was so impressed by that fair because I had never felt connected to the people around me. So, our company's vision is to help people express their heritage through fashion. We hope that one day we will be able to create quality, sustainable and fashionable collections that are inspired from cultures all around the world. There are two main problems we are trying to tackle. Firstly, after looking around, we saw that many young people do not feel connected to their heritage. Thus, in some ways, we lose the sense of belonging in a community. Secondly, the fashion industry is one of the major polluting industries in the world. It has a huge negative environmental impact on the planet, and it follows many unethical practices. Our business will help young people integrate into their own personal style and preferences all traditions and styles. It is imperative that sustainable efforts are made throughout the whole making, advertising, and distribution of our products. As you can see here, we incorporated the gold coins and the earrings, the traditional skirts and the pants, and we use the cotton lock on the bag, since Greece is one of the major cotton providers in the market. As you can see here, it is worth mentioning that vintage fashion has become popular. People believe that the mainstream fashion has become too generic and it is lacking imagination and individuality. The sustainable market has started to pick up, and it is and it is estimated to reach $150 billion in sales by 2021. Most consumers believe that retailers should create clothes ethically and sustainable, and they prefer to buy from environmentally friendly brands. Our main focus is on teenagers and young adults. Most people that we ask from our questionnaire believe that through fashion they can express themselves in some forms. Even though that there are many options for them to express their history, they would be interested in purchasing garments that are inspired by the cultural heritage. When it comes to competitors, Reformation is considered the best sustainable and modern option in the market, but it only caters to the need for trendy clothing and shoes. Free People have more unique and unique and boho styles, but they do not follow fully sustainable practices. Lastly, online stores like Bonprix and Walmart are well known and they have people's trust, but they only have a few sustainable options. We believe we can achieve this because I have been sewing for the last 4 years and I'm continuously learning new things about the fashion industry, like including designing, sustainability, and ethical practices. Also, my family has a long history of making, selling, and working with fabric. We believe that the best way to grasp the attention of our audience is by having a strong social media presence and growing a following, by doing promotions with influencers that we will carefully pick out so that they follow our vision, and adding ads on social media that are well established and upcoming as well, like Instagram and TikTok. Also, we will sell our products on Etsy or using the shoppable post feature on Instagram, as well as marketplaces and our own site. Our main source of income will be sales. As a startup, we will participate in other competitions in order to raise our funding. In order for us to launch, we will need to cover some basic expenses, such as the garment and jewelry manufacturing process, as well as the fees that will come along with trademarking and later on shipping products. By doing some research, we came to the conclusion that in order for us to launch a small line of 5 to 6 designs, we will need around 5 to 10,000 euros. We believe that what we are doing is important because many people do not feel connected to their heritage. With globalization, we have lost our sense of individuality, and through this project and its expansions, we will hopefully be able to express ourselves more. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions?
Well done, first of all. Very nice presentation. I'm going to be your first client. I like Greek clothing. So Mareva is going to close her company. I'm sure that the ladies, they have questions from our judges.
Yes, how do you plan to market it? I mean, you want to explore the heritage, the Greek heritage, but how do you see that in the future, in 10 years from now, in 20 years from now? How do you see it refreshing and becoming new and going against the fashion trends that will come? Because vintage is trendy now, but it might not be 5 years from now. How do you see making it relevant again, over and over again?
It will also scale up and branch out to other cultures, and also it will keep up with the trends as well, but it will have as the core the tradition. So as many other companies have minimalism as their core, and then they make different clothing and accessories based of that, of minimalism, and they have it as their base. Our base will be tradition, and we will have a silhouette that reminds the old traditions and styles.
Okay.
Even though I'm not a lady, can I still ask a question?
Of course.
So I think, first of all, bravi. It was a well done presentation. I'm very interested in the essence of it, because I very much like the idea that, returning to roots of cultures that have withstood the test of time. And last I understood, Greece has been around for a while. So there has to be the essence of something, whether it's diet. When people talk about the Mediterranean diet, it's partly the food, but it's the lifestyle. The fact that they, before you go, you have to go up and down a cliff before you're able to eat your meal. And that is as important as the fact that you have olive oil on it. There's a large Greek population in Chicago, and Chicago is known as the Windy City. And I think that when I look at some of the scarves or head coverings or things like that, to me, the design essence of it is it helps you withstand the wind that you find while you're looking out to sea. And that same design essence could be portrayed with somebody who's, on Daly Plaza in Chicago, where there's also tons of wind. Is there a way that you think that you can capture the essence of the design of the product and then be able to market it outside just the sheer nostalgia of wanting to, remember your fond visit to Greece, to the island when you were on vacation? And this is, again, kind of how you're reaching to people outside of the Greek market, because I think that's the interesting thing of being able to look at how the idea of simplicity in design translates from Greek culture to West African culture to Chinese culture and so on and so forth. Does that make sense?
I believe that every fashion piece, whenever you see it, it gives you off a vibe, an essence on itself, like you're mentioning. So I believe that when you will make something that is inspired by traditional Greek culture, you will get a feeling. And I believe that everything that sparks emotions inside you, whether it is connected to a specific thing or not, it will make you form a connection with it, and you will want to have it and incorporate it in your lifestyle. So by having designs that really speak to people and make them interested and pique their curiosity, I think we're going to be able to target even more people and grasp the attention.
Thank you.
If I may ask a question, and like John, I don't really look female, so that's true. But if you look behind me, you see a picture of a couple of girls there. And so I live in a complete female family. Even the dog is a female, so so I think I have a right to ask. You were, if I go back to your presentation, and well done, it was very clear and well thought out. There are actually two aspects. It's the vintage part, it's the Greek heritage part, and it's also the sustainability part, which we've also heard from the other presentations. Like a question I asked just now, if you want to also make it in a sustainable way, and you were saying that the clothing industry is one of the most polluting industries in the world, how are you going to make sure that everything that you use, from being the cotton in the clothing things or in the materials that you use, how are you going to make sure that you have that certification of sustainability?
There are some initiatives that they have started, and they give certification to sustainable brands. And there are brands that have standards. I think Oecotex is one of them, and they give you the option to search and find the manufacturers that make things like you want them, that use cotton that did not have the harmful chemicals in them, that they are not doing something that is so harmful that is really harmful. So one option is the certifications that whenever actually a brand has one, they usually have it at the bottom of their page, because you're supposed to be proud of it. Since you have it, you should show it. And I think that that's the best way to go, with certifications from organizations.
Okay, and I just want to make one comment on that in the sense of the vintage part. The whole world wears jeans, and the jeans itself Yes, we've had all kinds of different versions of it, but everyone still recognizes a pair of jeans, and that's quite vintage, and we all still think is very fashionable. But so, I applaud your idea.
May I pose a question?
Only if you're female. Tell us how female you are.
So, very nice and very interesting concept, I must say. I have a question regarding the following. You are willing to get a style from a specific region, for example, and then incorporate it into a clothing line. Have you seen the volumes? Like, are there enough people coming from a specific region that would be interested in a specific style? Have you done any kind of research like this?
In my questionnaire that I did, it was more like the whole Greece. In Greece in general, it wasn't specific in like Thessaloniki or something, or a specific village that you should be inspired from. So it's more in general, and I think that my styles will be a bit in general. They will have different aspects, and it will be in the descriptions that so its history. But I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it will make such a big difference for someone that is interested in buying something like that if they're not from the place that the design is inspired from.
So you're saying you're going to blend various styles and just make a line that would be more Greek, let's say, in the first place, and then later incorporate more cultures.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done. So now is the moment that our judges are going to have a very difficult work because all our startups, they did an amazing job. And I would like to congratulate you guys because you worked this Orange Grove Junior program through Zoom and other online applications, and you are you are close to your houses and you remain creative, and I really loved your ideas. For me personally, it doesn't matter who's the winner because I consider you all winners, and I'm sure that you are the generation that is going to make our country very, very proud in the future. Now we are going to have a short break for our judge committee, less than 20 minutes. So they will have a meeting in another room. They will discuss and decide the winner. Startups and me, I will be here online. Please unmute your microphone, or if you want to discuss something with me, I'm at your disposal. So good work to our judges. Thank you for listening all of our startups. And come back quickly.
Okay.
We're going to go fish out the very best idea.
Okay. Welcome back to the Junior Squeezy. Natasha, would you like to add something? I think it's your time.
Yes, before we go to the winners, because I know that you're all waiting to find out who has won the competition today. I just need to thank a couple of people because we have our jury here today. These people have taken a lot of their precious time and they have been very willing to listen to you all, to all your pitches and give you feedback. So I'm would really like to thank you for this and for your time, for your willingness, not only today, but for all the things you've done for us in the previous years. I would also like to thank Christina, who is presenting this for the second time, and she has also helped us in the previous years a lot with mentoring and coaching startups. So thank you, Christina. I would like to thank AIMS International and Hendrik-Jan especially, and also Idea Hackers for offering the programs that the winners will be following. So thank you very much, because this is a very good opportunity for these kids to hear from experts from abroad who have a lot of international experience. So it will be very useful for them. So thanks for that. I would like to, last but certainly not least, thank all the trainers, because all the trainers were volunteers as well. They actually gave up a lot of their free time to sit down and work with these kids, and we see the results today. So I hope I have not forgotten anybody. Of course, our sponsors, I should never forget our sponsors, because without them, nothing would have been possible today. And now I would like to give the floor back to Christina, because everybody is waiting to find out who the winner is.
Yes, thank you, Nata. But before the announcement of the winner, I have an important step, which is the feedback. I think in the startup scene, feedbacks are very important, and startups, they can improve their ideas. So I would like to ask from the judges to give a short feedback to our startups. I don't know who wants to start, and let's take the startups with the presentations. So the first startup was the bio bottles, and who wants to give the feedback on bio bottles?
I would like to give some feedback to the bottles. So Mirto, Katerina, and Maria. The presentation was very professional. You have done a great job. We could see that you have worked on the material and the slides, and every step of the presentation was covering all the aspects, etc. There are, however, also some issues which have to do with the market itself. It's far more complicated than that. There are restrictions to several things, like the pricing of water. It's controlled by a government, so there is a maximum amount of money you can pay for a bottle, a maximum amount of money you can sell a bottle of water to a consumer. So this might create an impediment to companies to go along with you, because they will lose a lot of the profits. There are other technical issues, because the machines, for example, that would produce this type of bottles are not there yet for such large scale. The current machines that are the blowing machines of these little tubes, as it's currently the case, cannot handle very well PLA. But I guess there will be some fixes in the future. I'm just giving you some technical issues, some other realistic things that you might have to face when you implement such an idea. So my opinion is that it was a very good presentation, so I would like to congratulate you with that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miltiadis. Now the second startup was Free You, and the feedback is from... Who wants to give a feedback to Free You?
I can. So
okay, thank you.
It's a very, very good idea, and personal health is a huge market, and there's a reason why Apple is spending a lot of money and put a lot of engineering work into trying to do these things. And I think the advice I have, the feedback I have for you, which is can be taken by everybody. So I think everybody should be listening to feedback from everybody's presentation carefully, and you should be sharing feedback amongst yourselves. But for this one, something that depends on any type of mobile hardware engineering, as soon as somebody hears that, they're going to really say, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? And as difficult, as great as an idea as anything is, you can always get to the essence of an idea and think about how can you make your idea handle kind of market realities, so that if you find that you can't do something, could you take that idea and still go forward with it? So I think that anything that depends on that, you want to focus on something that gives you defense against people who will try to pick apart your idea. And in your presentations, imagine what ideas or what questions you're going to get, and try and come back and have that prepared, so that when somebody says you're crazy, there's no way that you can possibly do that, either come back and say, but yes, we've thought very carefully about this, or yes, we know this is a huge challenge, and if we can't do that, our idea is so good, then we can go forward with it in this direction. That's my feedback for you all. You're welcome.
Very nice, thank you. Very helpful. The third startup was Let's Sign.
Okay, I can give feedback for
Thank you.
the team. It was an amazing presentation. It was very good idea and very well thought and very professionally done. Just have in mind that 136 languages are too many to handle at once. So how about starting with smaller scale and building up gradually? Have in mind that there are different sign languages depending on the country. So it means that you will have spoken languages and sign languages, too many of them to handle, and find a way to make it more, easy to use. Try to answer the question on how a person will use it. Will it be an app? Will it be live? Will it be on the internet, on a site? See how, for that to be more relevant to the everyday life of these people. And it was a great idea, and relevant to a very large percentage of the world.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katerina. And now NPB, the feedback for NPB startup, please. Goes for?
I would like to give some feedback. So, Fedra, Christian, Fotis, and Panagiotis. So while you were presenting, I took some notes. I liked a lot your energy. You have really some very positive energy coming out of your team, which is very good. You seem very passionate about it, which is also a very good element for pushing an idea forward and making something successful. And I like also the fact that you are observing things in your area, and based on that, on a true observation, you are thinking of a product, which is actually the way to solve some real problems, and that makes products successful. So on the other hand, I believe that you step too much onto the sustainability aspect, which has a lot of competition. Many people try to be sustainable nowadays. So you need to create also something that will be unique, this unique element that will make you different than the competitors, and that will push a consumer to choose you above somebody else. And the consumer can also be the hotel, because the hotel can be approached by several parties who would promote sustainable tourism or whatsoever. And every of these aspects needs to be unique. So I think I want you to remember uniqueness in what you offer, and that will give you advantages. So keep on trying this good job. Think of the money. Also, that was one more thing I noted here. The amounts, maybe for your current income sounds like a lot of money, but for business, you can have a higher budget for implementing the idea. So remember that don't judge by your own income, but try to see what is logical in the market to charge for services and how much things cost in general.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miltiadis. Your advice is always unique. We love uniqueness. So then we go to SCEDMED was a team, and the feedback is given by...
I will give feedback there, and it's somewhat similar. Again, I think that always look at the essence of your idea, and the essence of your idea is something that came very, very clearly and personally through that, and that counts for a lot, because the reality is that people come from families, and they will always remember, with fondness, their parents, their grandparents, and it's just a very human thing. And that is the most important aspect of it. And you face the same challenge that you're saying, how do I get people to take their pills? It's a clearly huge problem. And in terms of credibility, when you go to present, you have to remember that you're going up against people all over the world, and there will always be teams that have more money and have been doing it longer. And so you always have to find, what is it that you can do that no one else can have? And I think that I want to say to all the Greek entrepreneurs here, Greece has survived for a long time. Greece will be there tomorrow because it was there yesterday. And that is a thing that you can focus on. And you think about your branding and the way that you present your idea, focus on that love, because if there are other people who are better able to do hardware engineering or have a huge advantage over you in terms of they already have a watch in the marketplace and already have teams of engineers working in spaceships, what they don't have is maybe the Greek mentality, the Greek expertise, the Greek pathos, if that's the right word, and really try to focus on what is it that you could do that is your branding or your presentation that could then maybe allow you to be picked to join a larger team and be propelled to see your idea that you really care about successful in the marketplace, because that's something for all of you to think. It's like everybody wants to have the dream of doing it all themselves with their team or their person. The reality is that it's over time, it's continuous collaborations, and collaborators want people that bring a unique perspective. You have that Greek advantage. Work it really hard.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you for the pathos, for your feedback. You put on your feedback. And the last, the square root of me. And who wants to give the feedback to our Joanna?
And I would love to do that, Joanna. And I part of what John just said, I hope also that you listen very carefully to what he said, because if there's one presentation that also counts for, it was your presentation, and not only the presentation but the idea that you brought forward. It was clear that you have a personal passion for this. And it's also clear that you come from a background that probably knows quite a bit about this already, about the product that you want to deliver. And that obviously is an advantage for you. The combination of vintage, but also new in the sense of sustainability, is a strong feature that you may want to even bring out even more. And another thing that you could think about is to make sure that even though throughout the years you will have to kind of change in the type of things that you want to create, that there always will be a unique, recognizable thing that belongs to the square root of me, because that's where you are going to be unique. Obviously, if you listen to and look at some of the other presentations that came about, maybe yours wasn't the most innovative of them all, but you definitely showed the passion and the thought process that have gone into your presentation. The presentation itself was also very clear and very well thought out. In the team of jurors, when we discussed also your presentation, you obviously noticed that you were the only one today that did it by yourself. And on the one hand, maybe that made it a bit easier. But if we look forward, if we look to the future, one of the things really is clear. You can do it very fast by yourself, but you'll go a long way. You'll go a lot further if you do it in a team. Yeah, so have a think, have a thought about who should be the people that I want to have in my team that actually bring other aspects, other types of personalities, other thoughts, other knowledge that will help you to even build your thoughts and your creativity even more. Yeah, but all in all, congratulations in what you did.
Thank you very much. That was very helpful.
Okay.
So now is an exciting moment. I think the most amazing digital Squeezy Junior competition. I will never forget that. And I want to stand up and to jump up and down, because I'm very happy and exciting about a very nice present, a gift that I have for you, for all of startups. I would like to inform you that in addition to the awards that for the 3 winners that the ambassador announced at the beginning of this Junior Squeezy, we have a special award for all of our startups, and that is a 15 minutes meeting with John Flicks. So you are very lucky. I mean, I'm jealous of you. You will have the luck to speak with John and get more pathos feedback with pathos. So John, thank you very much for this. It's very kind of you.
It's my pleasure to do so. And it can be, you can't pitch me a Netflix series idea because I can't do that, but I will, to the best of my ability, give you direct feedback on how to improve your presentation in the form of it, in help you with ideation, how to really, as I said, get to the essence of your idea and how to make your idea defensible. And that's, I think, is a critically important part. I look forward to speaking with all of you. I think you will all go far. It's clear to me from what I've seen today, and I think you will all go far if you go together. That is the big strength that your ecosphere of entrepreneurs can bring to the world.
So thank you. One of the next days, Orange Grove will arrange this meeting. You will get by mail all the information. And now it's the moment for the awards.
Drum roll, please.
I would like to ask Hendrik-Jan, please.
Yes, I will. So
to announce the 3rd winner, we start the opposite, the 3rd one first.
Exactly, and I would like to again congratulate all of you, first of all, for being able to convince Orange Grove that you actually have become these teams that came to this evening, and you've all done brilliantly. And I said in the jury discussion that we had just now, I'm 53 years old, and I was thinking back, what was I like when I was 15, 16, 17, or 18 years old? You guys, you are so much more clever, and so much more thinking about things that go on in the world than what at least I was when I was your age. I was a baby when I was like that age. So again, I'm kind of jealous that you guys are in this age doing what you're doing. And I don't have a hat on, but I'll take my hat off for all of you in that sense. So that's for all of you. Now, number 3. And I'm very much looking forward to also being able to have the opportunity to train this person, this team. And Joanna, you have become 3rd in this evening's contest, and I congratulate you on that. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh, Joanna.
Well done, Joanna. Πολύ καλά, bravo. Χαίρομαι. Very glad for you. So I will have more nice clothes in the future from you. Don't forget me. And then the 2nd award, I would like to invite Katerina to announce the 2nd award, please.
Okay, get ready. The 2nd award goes to the Let's Sign team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bravo. Well done. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Well done. And the big winner, Miltiadis. Please announce the big winner. I cannot wait anymore.
The honor to me. So you are anxious to hear who is the first winner. Before saying that, I want to first to say that you are all winners today because you are here, and that's only on itself is a great thing. Although you might be thinking on these things, you know, but later you will be thinking, oh yeah, indeed, we were different than our classmates or our friends who were doing different things than being here. The second thing I want you all to remember is that there is a Japanese saying that helped me a lot personally. It's like fall six times, but stand up 7. And from my experience, every time I was falling, and the moment I would stand up again, I felt a bit taller. So remember that never give up. That's the essence. But now, without further ado, I would like to announce number 1, which is, guys, prepared? Bottles, yes! Number 1! You're the champions! You make
I'm not 100% sure if it all came through. Say it again.
So the bio bottles is number 1.
Go, girls.
Thank you very much. Bravo.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You were really amazing. You had a great presentation. Nice idea. As I told you, obstacles, but don't give up. Go for it, and you can make it.
Congratulations. I'm super glad. So I think it's time for the photo. Vanessa, a photo.
Before we go there, because this was supposed to be happening in the museum, let's not forget about that. And you would have had the chance to see the museum. Know that you are still very welcome to come and visit as a gift from us to come and visit the museum whenever we are allowed to open again and
thank you. Goulandris Museum is the most beautiful museum, art museum right now in Athens. I look forward to come back.
Yeah, because there's got to be something more beautiful to look at than this face. So I take advantage of the museum. And I don't even want to go there. I saw a funny meme that compared the famous statue of David and then showed the reality of people staying at home and eating too much, where they called it COVID. And it's not a pretty comparison.
No, not at all.
So thank you all of you very much. Congratulations again. Thank you for your time. And smile for the group photo.
Exactly. Smile. I'm going to take the photo now. Thank you, everyone. Great. Thank you so much.
Well done. Good. Well done.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Bye
Everyone, well done.
Bye. Have a great evening.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Congratulations.
Bye-bye.